Good morning, I'm Sean Walsh, and this is apple pressing in the Discovery Park.
Small town mother, I'm back again, and I left behind my lover, I left behind my friends, and I guess it's for the best now that I am going home. The small town life is the best I've ever known.
The project began in about 2009. We were trying to mark some ideas around celebrating Kilkenny's 400th anniversary. We decided to plant 400 fruit trees around the city and county, and that project took off really well. So we went a stage further. Brian Dillon decided that it would be great to have community apple pressing days, because we knew that there's an awful lot of people have huge amounts of apples in their back gardens, and they just go to rot on the ground. And it's just a lovely community event. It's a way of tapping into local food resilience on where food comes from, and also not wasting food. And it's been a huge success. Everywhere we've gone, there's been big crowds of people coming here.
These old marble streets that we all used to meet, I left empty and cold now. We've all found your freedom out of your brothers in arms. They ground their teeth at the moon, and love from the past will get there and last till they all went away. That's where they'll stay. They moving up the water, moving up the lake. They won't return, no, they won't see.
I put a mix, and I even put some cooking apples in as well. My kids like a bit of tang in the apple juice, so if you juice all eaters, it can be quite sweet, a bit sickly sweet, so we throw in a few cookers as well. And it's a great way of using them up. Oh my God, I even driving over here this morning, I passed a few houses with the apples on the ground underneath the trees. I was tempted to stop and just gather them up. So many of them go to waste, and I know they can be hard to store, because for years before I became aware of this project, I used to try to store them, but they would rot and different things. It was a bit disheartening. But with the juicing, you can just get your juice, freeze it or whatever, so it's so easy to store.
You can use any apple. You can use your cookers and desserts, and often it's good to mix both. To get the sweetness and a bit of bitterness from the cookers, and they can be windfall, so you don't have to pick them from the tree. You just gather them up, and they first go through the mincer, which is the yellow machine, and that kind of mashes them up into kind of a porridge. A mash is called, and then that mash is transferred into a hessian bag into the press, and we squash the juice out of the bag. It's as simple as that. It's a hand operated machine, and it just puts pressure on the bag, and the juice comes gushing out into the bucket below. And then we just dispense the juice into bottles. A lot of people will freeze those bottles then. It'll keep in the freezer for forever. Some people will reduce it down into syrup for their porridge and pancakes and whatnot. And then some people will turn it into cider and wine.
So in this we have a mixture of about 5 different varieties. So the more varieties you put in, the nicer flavour you get from your cider. So even though you might imagine eating apples will give a grey cider, if you put in some cooking apples, you get a little bit of tartness, which is quite nice in the cider. So the kind of process of it is, within the skins and the pips and all that part of the apple, there's a lot of yeasts and sugars. So you won't really need to add anything to this. It'll actually start fermenting itself. Some people just put in some crab apples that grow on the fields and stuff, but you would definitely need a sweet, I think you would, an eaten apple. Where if you just used all crab apples, it'd be very tart. So if we say this is coming up to October, this should be perfect now for Christmas. So that barrel will be emptied by the end of Christmas.
Well, this is the first time that I came to the one in Castlecomer, but I have a couple of years ago went to a few, but I never had apples. So I just was looking at other people pressing apples. So this is the first time we managed to bring our apples and get them pressed and have apple juice.
Would you tell other people about this thing?
Oh, absolutely. It's brilliant, especially for kids to see like where apple juice comes from. Like it's not from a supermarket shelf, and to have the experience of picking the apples, bringing them, and then an hour later having your apple juice and bringing it in your school lunch. It's absolutely fantastic.
Where I grew up in West Tipperary up in the hills, and we had crab apple trees in a few ditches here and there. We didn't have anything, so here in Kilkenny it's the sunny southeast, of course, and you get these wonderful, branches of trees way down with apples. Yeah, shame to let them go to waste. I mean, it breaks my heart to see just apples going rotten in the ground.
I can't see that waste. I'm picking them up. I have the kids stacking, racking and packing and cleaning and wiping, and as soon as the wind blows, we're out the back looking for the trees.
Keeps them busy and keeps them tired then, I suppose. They get some...
Cheap exercise, yeah.
Nice one, thank you very much.
Anytime, appreciate it. All the best.
From the apples, we just get silence, as they're about to be sacrificed for our need for drink. Nobody thinks of the apples.
We'd probably give some to our neighbours as well, and it was all of my auntie's apples, so thanks to her.
Give some to drink for the next while anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you very much.
See ya.